All right, Shalom. This is Shalom from the GMS Atlanta camp. Before I get started in this video, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, safety, much love, and blessings to the elect of Israel. So I want to get into this topic of the guy you see on the left side of the screen, Nick Cannon. Very rich man, family's rich, heavy in the entertainment industry, shows, movies, music. Everybody know who this guy is. Nickelodeon or Nick at Night. He owns one of those, but not to go too far into what he does, but just basically what's going on now about what he said about the so-called black people. And I'm just going to quote, he pretty much said that, I'm not going to quote exactly what he said, but he pretty much said that the Negroes were the real Jews, amongst a few other things that he said. But he's, you can't really deny that. The only thing that you can't say that he's lying or he's wrong. All that you can say is it's anti-Semitic. And that's what they've been throwing around with a lot of these celebrities in the past few months. I don't know what it is about this coronavirus pandemic, but there's a lot of things unfolding since this pandemic has been here in Babylon the Great, which is United States of America. You done had a few celebrities, athletes come out saying that the Negroes are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. So it is part of the plan to wake everyone up in these last days. At least 1/3 of our people, that's going to actually listen, take heed, and come back to the Lord and come back to the original name, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. But then you're going to have most of our people that's going to continue to be ignorant, not listen, and basically take their place in the lake of fire, which is going to be caused by thermonuclear missiles. But I want to get this precept right here because a lot of people, I was looking at the comments on the topic on certain articles where you can read about what he said, and a lot of the comments were Edomites, so the so-called white man, the wicked of the world that the Bible speaks of. They're upset and saying that he's racist. Well, guess what? The God of the Bible is racist, whose real name is Yahweh. He's only for his people, which is Israel. And of course, you're going to have people, especially Christian church. No, Jesus came with a new covenant and changed all of that. No, that's not what happened. The one who you call Jesus, whose real name is Yahweh Shai, came as a sacrifice. And also to build up faith in Israel and to teach, to basically bring people back. Yahweh Shai he's our savior. He only for Israel, and there are many scriptures that prove that. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to continue with this right here. This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach chapter 13. In verse 23, it says, "When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he said. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him." So basically, by Nick Cannon being a rich man and having a lot of followers, a lot of people actually listen to what he was saying, and you can hit, and you could, if you read the comments on the articles about this particular situation, he Negroes, he actually helped a lot of Negroes, go study what was going on. And I was reading comments, folks was like, yeah, he's right. I looked it up and he's right. And, basically going into it and doing some research. Lord's willing, hopefully some of these people look up videos of Great Millstone and not these other camps, because a lot of these other camps that's not following the same doctrine is going off. For example, not to call any names, but the ones that still teach Christ, the Savior name is not Christ, it's Yahweh Shai. So they're going off by doing it. But just back to this precept, it said, "Rich man speaketh, and every man hold his tongue." Even Esau, Edom, paid attention and listened to what Nick Cannon was saying, because, look, for example, when we go out to camp and we go out and teach, it's a very few people that listen. We do live recordings on YouTube, and we have people that look at the videos, but you don't really see a lot of people stopping and listening. But that's going to change. The Lord may use some of these celebrities just to put their voice out there, just to not saying that this guy is going to be a prophet and make it to the kingdom. We really don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the Lord has in store for certain people. The Lord may take all his riches away. They already canceled some of his, TV contracts, but the Lord can have it where he take everything away and turn this guy into a regular person, and then he can go out and prophesy and teach. But as of right now, it looks like he's just trying to find himself. He's digging up information about history, ran into the truth, and he feels that he needs to put it out there. But there are a lot of consequences that come with that, and we already know, especially the men that go out and teach, we already know that the persecution is coming. But, when these people walk past us at the camp, without any celebrities, we don't have on the best of clothes, we don't have on, these really nice suits, so no one is going to pay any attention to us. They're going to walk past, and then you look at this guy, Nick Cannon. I just, just looking at him, he clearly he shaves his face, he don't have a beard. He wears this turban on his head. But still, he has a clean face. He has a mustache that's trimmed, a beard that's trimmed, and the rest of his face is shaved. And I'm pretty sure his haircut, his hair is lined up, and that's going off in the scriptures as well. That could be just his picture. I don't know what he does when he's not he's always in the spotlight and in the camera. So, I don't know. I don't know what the Lord has in store for this guy. I really don't think that, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this guy, Nick Cannon. All I know is that the Lord put the spirit on him to say certain things, and, what seems to be true. And now the devil is going after him. And then after all of this, he apologizes. But I'm just going to continue to go in the scriptures. But, overall, like I said, this is prophecy. And, it is, as far as Esau, Edom, trying to destroy him by canceling his shows and all of that, all of that does is show that, what he said was something that they need to take serious. And we have freedom of speech, and but they like to throw around that racist word and anti-Semitic word. And I think one comment he did make was when he said he mentioned something like, how can we be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people? And that's true. But Esau, Edom, chooses his own rules and definition, and he rewrote history. So that's just how the so-called white man does. He sticks to what only he created, as far as words and history. And so far, the Jewish people are God's chosen people, and they live in Jerusalem, and they was put back in their own land, fulfilling a lot of prophecies, not by the Most High, but by the so-called white man, which the white man think that he's God anyway. So they thought that they was fulfilling prophecy in the early 1900s, putting the so-called Jewish people over in the chosen land. But I do want to get another precept. I'm not going to make this long at all, and this is going to be Baruch chapter, probably going to start at 30, chapter 2 and verse 30. And this is all about what's going on now. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." And that's what's going on now. We're in the land of our captivity. We're clearly in the last days. Clearly prophecies are popping off left and right. There's nowhere around that. But hey, all people are hard-headed. You tell a Negro that he's a real Jew. He's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, and he look at you like you crazy. But then you have people like Nick Cannon, Fantasia, Ice Cube, saying the same thing, and people stop and listen. I'm not gonna call this guy's name out or put him out there like that, but it was somebody I brought the truth to, and somebody close to me. So when I talked to him about the truth, this guy thought that he already knew everything. He was like, "Nah, that's not true," and he went and asked somebody else about it that had a lot of knowledge that he know very well, and they said, yeah, everything that he said was true. So then he comes back to me, and was like, "Well, yeah, so and so said that you was right." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, why would you even, if I can prove it to you in the scriptures and in history who you are, why would you, even?" I mean, it's okay to go out and do your own research. That's what I did, and it's really nothing that can deny this truth, because it's the truth. But he went out, he did that, and he came back, but he still couldn't get into it, because he was so stuck in to what he, basically how he was raised, what he learned, and the way that he lived his life so far. So but the Lord, the Lord is going to use certain people, and the Lord is going to destroy certain people. But I'm just going to continue in this right here in this Baruch chapter 2. It says, "But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." Because nobody really knows who they are. If you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, your history was erased by the so-called white man. And then you have people, telling you who you are, telling you the truth, and you still refuse to listen. So the Lord is going to put spirits on certain people that you will listen to tell you the truth. That our people is they're a bunch of hardheads. I hate to say this, but you Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, you're a bunch of idiots, because you don't want to listen. And the Lord is going to keep bringing judgment on this place until you finally say, okay, those prophets, they were telling the truth. Everything that they say is right. But verse 31 says, "And shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear." So the Lord is going to open up your mind to listen to certain things, just like he did this guy on the left side of the screen. This guy, he didn't get this truth from other celebrities. He got it from he got it from the prophets. He still hasn't came out with the name, the correct name, and all of that. But as far as him basically put out there that the Negroes are the real Jews, that's just enough to get people started. Once I heard that, I did more research, and it led me to Great Millstone, and where I'm still learning. But verse 32, it says, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. Man, we when you come into this truth, you go to Ahia and Yeshua and Joshua and Yahweh and all these different names, and then you finally get the right name, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And that's proven through the old Paleo Hebrew Bible text. You can clearly see the name in there. It says, and return from their stiff neck, meaning to pay attention to what the Lord is saying, from their wicked deeds. Hey, you got to put off all of your wickedness. And it could be some things that you thought wasn't wicked, like these satanic pagan holidays that all people still worship and celebrate: Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Halloween. You know, they have no idea what this stuff is, but they celebrate it like, you know, it's the thing to do. And that was everybody that's in this truth. We all went off at one point, but the Lord, you know, He gave us ears to hear, and gave us basically a mind to retain the information that's in the scriptures. It says, and I will bring them again. Oh, let me go back to 33. It says, from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. So we understand, especially when you read Deuteronomy 28, you understand that the Lord, you know, put us through certain situations, especially slavery, which was the last curse in Deuteronomy chapter 28. You know, that we was going to be put on those slave ships. That's when we was like, yeah, all people went off. So the Lord punished us. That's why we went into slavery. This is why we've been oppressed. This is why the so-called white man is ruling over us. But guess what? All of that is about to change. Everything is going to be destroyed. The kingdom of heaven is going to be here. And the ones that make it to the kingdom, they're going to rule over these other nations. But verse 34, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. Yeah, the Lord is gonna set us up to basically control this earth, control this whole earth the way it should be. Everything's gonna be in order. These other nations are gonna be in order outside of Israel. You know, these heathen nations. The white man is gonna be a slave on the earth. You know, he put us in slavery. Why not we put him in slavery? But it's going to be worse. Besides all the disgusting rape and all that stuff that he did to you know, all our ancestors that was here. You know, we're not gonna do all of it because it's, you know, it's against what the Lord wants. But hey, it's gonna be a lot of ass kicking in the kingdom, and you heathens deserve it. Verse 35, and I will make everlasting covenant with them to be their power or their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Hey man, we're gonna get our land. We're gonna have it forever. It's gonna be for us, and you know, if whoever makes it makes it. But you know, I don't know what the Lord has in store for this guy Nick Cannon, but you know, as you see, he went out, he told the truth, and then he had to come back and apologize. I wouldn't apologize for nothing, man. You got enough money. Just lay low. You got enough money to basically just sit back, you know, do what you got to do, and make it to the end. But, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what the Lord has in store for this guy, because, you know, he went back and apologized to Esau, Edom. And of course, you know, the scriptures do tell you that you have to agree with your enemy to a certain extent, but you know, they can tell you what you're saying is not true, but they can't tell you the truth. Now, if Nick Cannon would have said, well, Are you saying I'm wrong? Are you saying what I'm saying is anti-Semitic? So what is the truth? Are black folks really Africans? Are Indians really Indians? Are Mexicans really Mexicans? What did they speak before the Spaniards came over? What did Native Americans, what language did they speak before the so-called white man came and destroyed the land and destroyed the people? What did the Negroes, what language did they speak over in Africa before we was put on the transatlantic slave trade? You ask yourself these questions, but hey, sooner or later it's gonna come to light. Everything that's been hidden is gonna come into light, and Lord is gonna, He's gonna use certain men to do so. But this is kind of the beginning of this, because this happened a few days ago, and actually 2 days ago. And hey, let's just see the Lord, the way the Lord has His thing to go, because I know a lot of people listen to this guy, what Nick Cannon said, and they went out and did their own research. So hey, let's just see what happened. Just by looking at the comments, it's a lot of people going to research what he said. Hey, like I said before, the scriptures say you can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So when Esau, Edom try and take down all people for basically putting out knowledge that needs to be put out, he's going to get upset, because it makes him look like he's the devil, which he is. And then he's going to come with that, well, you're speaking racism, and we're going to take this from you and take that from you. And then people are going to, damn, let me see what this guy was saying, because it had to be something that serious. You can tell all kind of jokes about so-called Negroes, but you say something that hurts the white man, and he can destroy your whole life pretty much. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rekah with Dash, double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone. Peace, safety, and much love to the elect of Israel. Shalom.